has been a hot second since I've made a YouTube video. I got sick and lost my voice and figured it wouldn't be all that fun for you to watch a video of me miming things, although, I mean, I could have and just waited until I could do a voiceover or something, but again, still just not quite as fun, especially for what I had in mind today. So, it is about halfway through December. I don't know about you, but my book list, my reading list has not been completed. I have had somewhere I have an actual physical list of all of the books that I planned on reading next. I don't know where that went. Maybe it's up there with all of the poetry books I got from the library when I went to the library and got like 10 poetry books and possibly cleared out most of their English poetry collection. Why did I get poetry books when I'm a suspense writer? Well, it's simple, really. Poetry is really good. It's good for the soul. It's easy to read, sometimes really hard to read, sometimes it just smacks you upside the face, but also it's just so good to expand what you know of words. And as a writer, what was I reading? I was reading Stephen James. I was reading Story Trump Structure the other night before bed. I was reading Story Trump Structure, and he said that in order to be a fiction writer, you have to be more than just a fiction writer. You can't just make stuff up, because you have to be a poet, you have to be a marketer, you have to be a cartographer in some ways. And that just hit me, that you have to study the poets, because they have a way of saying what you could never say. Successful poetry is successful because it puts into words the feelings of the masses that most of the masses can't put into words. And that just hit me, so I wanted to share that. So I have a bunch of poetry books over there, plus, in large part because I can read them quickly. I know a lot of people who read poetry and study poetry are like, how dare you just binge read poetry books? But, like, the alternative is me not reading them at all. So, can we just take a win? But I love the consumable nature of poetry books, how quickly you can read them, how quickly you can get through them, especially as I'm getting down to the wire and I have 2 weeks left to read as many books as I possibly can to try to reach my 35 book goal for 2019, and that's probably not going to happen because let me check, I've read 18 of 35 books. If you do some quick math, which I'm not very good at quick math, but even I can do the math of, even if I had finished 2 more books, I would still have 15 more books to read in the next 2 weeks. And that's an entire book a day. And working full-time means that isn't possible for me. Unless I just, go through here and look solely for the smallest, thinnest, easiest, most consumable books I can possibly find, which I'm sure there are some of them. Some of them I'm sure I could read pretty quickly. But I also want to enjoy the books that I'm reading, so on the one hand, yes, I really want to finish all of these things. On the other hand, I guess it's okay if I don't quite hit that 35 book goal. Especially considering that I've also been reading a ton of unpublished books this year, which don't count toward the Goodreads goals. And I've talked about this in blog posts and videos in the past, but when you are a literary agent and an editor, you read a lot of books that are unpublished as of yet, and those don't count toward reading challenges. So yeah, here we are. Side note to all of that, if you are a suspense writer, I want to see your books. So, I am a literary agent with Cyle Young Literary Elite. You can go search them. I'll put the link to the website down below. If you go on the submissions page and you submit your suspense novel, I will give it a look. And I make no promises because I can't represent everything, but I am currently looking for suspense novels. So if you are interested in being represented by a literary agent, go check us out. Link down below. Other side note, I mentioned earlier I'm an editor and a critiquer and a beta reader, so if you have a book and you want any of those services, go check out my website down below. There's also a link down there. I have my rates up on my website, so if you're curious about that, you're interested in that, there's also a way to fill out a contact form to get more information, and I will be in touch. Okay, now that that's done, we're on to the fun part of this video, the part that I've been waiting for a very long time, that I've been excited for the past 2 weeks. I'm going to be reading and reacting to writing memes. So, I put out a call on Twitter, got a few responses, so I'll go through those ones first. I also put out a call out on Facebook, so if you want to be part of my author JJ Hannah fam on Facebook, I'll put a link down below to that group and you can request to join. If you want to just follow me on Twitter and engage with me there, great. Here are my social media handles. It's all the same everywhere. I just kind of do it that way because I can. It's easiest if I'm on a social media, you'll probably find me at author JJ Hannah. That's just how it is. Same thing with my website, same thing with literally everything I do. So, author JJ Hannah, pretty much everywhere. You can find me there, you can follow me, you can engage with me. I'm super excited. That's including places like Tumblr and Twitter and all of that fun stuff. Without further ado, the memes. Pull up some Twitter. Let's pull up Twitter now and see these memes. Okay, so this one comes from the Gravity Lover on Twitter. And it's a Lord of the Rings meme. I love these one does not simply memes. Oh, they get me. Okay, but this one is one does not simply get published. And it's so true. Oh my gosh. It's so true. Okay, because there's so much that goes into being published that a lot of people don't realize. It's not as simple. I mean, the traditional publishing process is not nearly as simple as just uploading your words somewhere and having somebody somewhere else print them into a book form. There's so much more that goes into that. And then even to succeed in publishing, I have an entire rant about this in other videos in my Industry Insights series, so go check out those if you're interested in the publishing world. I won't bore you with that here. But that's a good meme. That's a good meme. Thanks, the Gravity Lover. Alright, here we go. Here are my other memes. Okay. Oh gosh. So, thumbs up. Feed an author, leave a review. Bless. Okay, so, the thing about reviews in today's day and age is we need them. Reviews are the current equivalent of word-of-mouth marketing. Like, yes, you do still need to, we want you to go tell your friends about it. But one of the easiest ways for you to tell a lot of your potential friends and your actual friends about it is to leave a review on places like Goodreads and Amazon. It means so much to authors. Even if it's you rate it with a few stars and then you say, I liked this book. That's it. That's all you need to do. It takes about 5 seconds, but it can make or break an author's career. So help your favorite authors. Leave reviews. Tell people what you like, what you didn't like. Tell people about the book. Tell everybody, your neighbor, give it to your friends for Christmas. Christmas is coming. Readers like books. So if you have somebody who wrote a book, give that book to your friends. I don't care if all 10 of your friends get the same Christmas present. If they like books, give them your friend's book because that means so much. Just the hardest thing about, after you've been published, the hardest thing about getting published again is proving that you can sell books. And the more books that you sell, the more likely you are to get another book contract. So if there's a debut author that you found that you're like, wow, I really like this, buy it. give it to your friends. Tell the world about this book. And then leave a review, because literally it can make or break an author's career. And if you want more books by that person, you have to prove it with your money. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. So literally, though, feed an author, leave a review. Yes, accurate. That's from the Panoptical Poet on Twitter. And okay, this one, Mint Miller says, if you think of writing as the art, this comic by Cat's Cafe Comics is really great for writers. So let's take a look-see. Wow, Gator, your art is really great. It still needs a lot of work. You have a lot of talent. I'm not as good as others. Grr. I love your work. Accept my praise. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, true though. Like, okay, so I have a critique group. I've mentioned them before. I've featured some of them in videos before. You've heard from them before. And one of the most important, like, yes, we read each other's books. We give each other critiques to help the books get better. But for some of us, especially as we're starting new projects, the most terrifying part of starting anything is actually starting it, and getting past the what if nobody ever reads it thing, that stage. And I have textual proof from one of my friends. I had this idea for a book that I started writing last night because of them, because of the conversation with them, where I was like, guys, I really want to write this book. And then they were like, so what's stopping you? And I was like, these reasons. And I gave them a few, and they were like, so what? Write it anyway. That's them talking now, actually. But they were like, write it anyway. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then one of them was like, I want to read this, so you have to write this. I have to live vicariously through you because I couldn't fit it into my book. And I was like, okay. So now I'm writing a book. I wrote 5,000 words last night. This is unlike anything I've ever written before, and unlike all of the other things I'm currently working on, where I'm usually writing suspense novels. This is a contemporary mermaid vampire fiction. We'll see if it actually goes anywhere. If nothing else, it's fun. So I'm having a lot of fun. But yeah, having somebody say your work is really great, and the hesitation to believe them is so tangible, and I feel that in my soul. But then just having the cat be like, just tackle him, like, accept it. Like, I'm telling you the truth. Don't discount my opinion by saying that it's not as good as everybody else, because I love your work. That's so important. And writers are notoriously bad at receiving praise. So, it's good. It's good. Good job. Good job, Mint Miller. I appreciate this meme. All right. So those are the only ones that I got from Twitter. If you want to send me some more, I can do another video like this. Just go follow me at author JJ Hannah on Twitter and, send me stuff. But I'm also going to just search hashtag writing memes and see what I can find. So here we go. Hashtag writing memes. And I'm just going to react to whatever I can find in here. Okay, this one is it looks like an endgame. This is from Coriolanus Moore. And it's writing at the beginning of the decade versus writing at the end of the decade. It's the Hulk. It's so true, though. Beginning of the decade, like, let's go, hardcore. And then, like, at the end of the decade, it's nerd glasses and sweaters and, wow, accurate. Okay. Let's see. What else is here? Me and my sweatpants getting ready to kill my character off. Okay, but it's so true. Like, I go to work in my pajamas, and I'm most productive in my pajamas. And I'm, like, sitting there with my cup of tea or my coffee in my pajamas, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill this character. But this is a video. That's right. It's me. I have arrived in my new outfit. That's right. I got a new outfit on. You see me? slay me, literally. Thank you, Ashton Jade, or at Scoops Ahoy. Thank you for posting this. That's hilarious, and I feel that in my soul. Alright, okay, here's a picture that I've seen many times before in my life. It was very inspiring to me when I was in high school and middle school and trying to be a writer and living most of my life in my imagination, in my own head. And it's a person walking down the street with a pigeon. You made me laugh too hard with that sweatpants meme. So anyway, the person walking down the street, and there's a pigeon, but the shadows are a dragon and a knight fighting the dragon. But the quote, "My life is so much more interesting inside my head." So true. The number of times that I'm walking down the street and I'm like, you'd be an interesting character. Or standing there cutting bread at the coffee shop that I work at, and I'm like imagining these characters in my head just having conversations and the sass. My life is very, very much more interesting in my head. The number of times that I get to be a heroine just going out and saving people, or some epic spy, or I don't know. It's just fun. Anyway, okay. Next up, we have a Pikachu meme. We have coming up with a new story idea and realizing you have to write it. Oof, is that accurate? Okay, so the number of times that I have come up with ideas and been like, this would be perfect in your voice, you should go write this, to my friends is uncountable. I can't even remember how many times I've done this. I hope they don't mind. I'm never gonna sue them for giving them those ideas though, because like I can't write it in the voice that they use, and their voice would be so perfect with the characters that I have in mind. I feel like I'm an idea generator, and half the time I don't want to write the ideas that I come up with, but I'm like, I want somebody else to write these. Yeah. Let's see, what else is there? Oh, here we go. OMG, look at this cute little plot bunny. I'm gonna write this book. Was such a great character. What a great character. I love them so much. Oh no. Let's see how many bad things I can make happen to them in this story. What a great idea. I'm going to write about it. Oh, where did you go? More coffee will help me write. Jittery. Oh no. Yeah, okay. Valid. This, I feel personally attacked by this meme. One little plot bunny multiplies into lots of little plot bunnies, and you're like, this is no longer focused. I don't know what's going on. This is fine. And then my friend, while encouraging me to write this other story for a while, my friend literally said, "Jory, you have tortured them so much, you can afford to give them a break." It's fine. And then we also have the coffee problem. I feel like it's a stereotype that writers are caffeine addicts. I cannot disprove this stereotype. Most of my friends love coffee or tea. Most of us run off of caffeine more than anything else. And I work at a coffee shop where my caffeine tolerance has been forced to increase dramatically. Moral of the story. I'm often overcaffeinated. Let's see. And then we have the great idea and being unable to actually get the words onto the page. Yeah, that's a real problem. Because I feel that, where it's like, it's like when you're in the shower and you have the perfect idea and you have all of the characters and the world building and everything is like perfect, right? And then you get out of the shower and you go to your computer to sit down to write, and you're like, mind blank. It's just gone. Everything just left, as if it was never there in the first place. It's the worst possible thing that can happen to a writer, and I that happens to me far too often. Anyway, yeah, so writing memes, man, they get us. that's all I have for this video today. I have no other big news other than I'm still writing my NaNoWriMo draft, finishing editing it up. I still have like 20,000 more words at least at minimum to add into that, so I'm taking a break writing this mermaid thing. Maybe that's what I'll call it, this mermaid thing for now. Gotta love rough draft titles, right? I'm reading a lot of poetry books. I'm reading some books on craft, trying to continue educating myself in writing so that I can become better at this job that I'm trying to do and what I'm doing and everything like that. But one thing that I'm very excited for going forward is being able to take the time to actually read a lot of suspense novels. I have 5 more books that I promised people I would read before I can just go back to reading whatever the heck I want to read. So after I finish those 5 books, I'm taking a break from reviewing and critiquing and stuff like that so that I can actually engage in the genre that I really want to be part of, which is super important. And, you know, when people ask you, hey, so you're a suspense writer, who are your favorite suspense authors? And you can't name any because you got into suspense in high school when you were still too young to read the suspense novels because of the content. And then college hit, and you're like, wow, I really like writing this, but you know nothing about who's currently succeeding in that part of the industry. That's a problem. So I want to change that. I have 4 more book review books that I have to read and write a review for, and 1 more book that I promised I would critique over the summer. I'm so sorry, people. Publishing is slow, and I got distracted. And life happened, and I got a new job, and then NaNoWriMo happened, and I still have that other job, and long story short, I promise I'm getting to your book. I promise. I just finished the other book like that I had to read, so it was good. I have thoughts. Can't wait to tell them about it. But anyway, long story short, I'm still writing, I'm still reading, currently lots of poetry books, eventually suspense novels, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Have a very Merry Christmas. If I don't see you beforehand, it was with Christmas posting schedules. We'll see if I can film beforehand. If not, I don't know. But until next time, I'll see you then. If you like these videos and want to see more writing memes, writer reacts to writing memes sorts of videos, say so in the comments. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really means a lot to me to have you join me on this journey. Make sure that the notifications bell is turned on because, I mean, yes, it's a notification, but that means that whenever this video and others like it go up, you'll be the first to know about it. So I just don't want you to miss out. I will see you next time. Keep reading, make good choices,